right at the beginning of COVID, my family and I had taken a trip up to Oklahoma City, and we was going over to Pops. It's a really cool place in Arcadia. If you've never been there, it's northeast of Oklahoma City, and it's on old Route 66. Well, we drove by this little building, and curiosity got the best of me, and I had to get out and go see what it was all about. So allow me to read this little sign for you. This is one of the last old gasoline filling stations still standing in this part of the country. No one knows for sure, but it is thought to have been built in the late teens or early 20s. It had two pumps, one for regular gas and one for ethyl, which was a little higher octane. Oil was dispensed from a 50-gallon drum, which was laid down on its side on a wooden frame. A spigot was put in the end of the drum, under which you put a quart can, then taken to your car and put in the motor. Seeing there was no electricity at the time, most homes and buildings were lighted by kerosene lamps or lanterns. Kerosene was dispensed the same way oil was, from a metal drum, put in your container and taken home. Cold soda pop, or as my grandparents used to call it, sody water, was sold only on days when the Iceman made it by. The pop was put in a large metal box with chipped ice over it. Hard candy was sold most of the time. Chocolate was sold only in the winter, because in the summer it would melt, since there were no refrigerators. Back then, times were very hard, and it was difficult to make a living. One day, about the time Al Capone was terrorizing the city of Chicago, a so-called salesman came by the station, offering to sell the owners a way to make a lot of money. Literally, for he had a set of plates for counterfeit $10 bills. The story goes that the people yielded to the temptation with the thought of being able to get rich quick. A small room was constructed on the back of the old station for the purpose of hiding the printing materials and a place to work. The only entrance was through the window you can see on the back wall of the station. The window had a solid wooden door, which was kept closed most of the time. People didn't even know that there was a room back there. The way that the counterfeiting was done was that they would press one of the plates on a piece of paper with the green ink on it, then let that side dry for 24 hours, and print the back side of the bill the next day. Things went along just fine for a time, but while passing one of the fake $10 bills, one of the persons was arrested, and with the identification on him where he lived, he was traced back to the old station. While searching the building, the counterfeit plates were found. So ended this crime spree like so many others. The person taken to jail was overheard to say, "It wasn't worth it." The old station was closed, never to open again. Many years later, which had nothing to do with the counterfeiting, a murder victim was found in the old abandoned building. Police were unable to determine whether he was killed here or the body just dumped. The victim was never identified, for he had no identification on him, and no one seemed to know him. The sign also says, "Please be careful entering this fragile old building, the owners of Rock of Ages Farm."
More or less, it's talking about how this was one of the oldest gas stations, or one of the gas stations still standing on old Route 66. It's not very big, had a fireplace right there. Two different doors. Part of the roof still standing. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Okay, we're on Google Maps right now, and currently we're located on the east side of the old filling station. Now we'll zoom around here a little bit, give you a couple different angles of what the filling station looks like, but this is it pretty much as it still stands today. Now I'm assuming if you put in 14123 East Danforth Road, that will hopefully take you right back to this location, but this is it. Now the day that we went, this was in March, and it was cold and it was raining, as you can sort of tell, but still a really cool experience. Now this was all pre-COVID. I believe the Thunder were playing maybe the Jazz that weekend, and this is right whenever I believe it was Rudy Gobert got tested positive for COVID, and then shortly after that, everything started shutting down. So in this upcoming video, this is an older throwback video. I found this months ago on YouTube, and I'm sorry I can't give the proper credit to it, but this is like an older video from a few years back, and so we'll look at it next. But there's the old station.
66 heading east, and this is this historical building. It says out here it's totally collapsed. It looks like it was an old gas station. Anyway, the 2 times I drove by, I wanted to see what was going on here, and now I'm finally going to do it. It's got something written on the thing up here. This looks like it's ready to just collapse on me. Look at this. Old, old, old. Looks like there's the fireplace. The roof's gone. Yeah, let me read about it, what it says.
Thank y'all very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm into classic cars and comics, man. It's in the name. I love classic cars. I have a couple classic cars, and I have a few comic books. So thank y'all very much for watching.